Hey guys, it's Nadine, and I'm here to share with you guys my favorite things from my Filofax, or the goodies that I use to kind of pretty up my Filofax. So anyhow, in my very first Filofax video, I showed you guys these market dots. I love these market dots. As I mentioned, if you're using a smaller size Filofax, which most people do, because even A5 is, while it's a bigger size, the boxes for the month on 2 pages is still rather small. I suggest these market dots because they're 1/4 of an inch big versus the Averys, which are 1/8 of an inch big. And I know that doesn't sound like that big of a deal or big of a difference between the sizes, but when it comes down to it, it actually is a huge deal. So I love these market dots, and I will put all of the information of the things that I love from my Filofax in the description box below. I also love this Martha Stewart, Martha Stewart Post-it note holder, and it comes on this plastic divider that actually has holes in it. Can be found at Staples, and on it are 2 Post-it pads and then 2 of the sticky tabs. And I showed you guys on my other video how I actually use the back side to put more sticky tabs on them that already have stamped out labels on them. So those are a few things. I also love this thing. It's by Oli, and this can be found at the Container Store, and it's a magnetic clip. Now the reason why I like this one is because out of all of the magnetic clips that I found, and you can find these at Walmart, or you can find similar ones at Walmart or Target. The Walmart and Target brands are smaller. They're maybe like half this size, and the magnet is not that strong. Versus this is actually strong and can hold quite a bit of pages. And let me just see if I can show you guys. So if I were to take, a good amount of pages, I can take this and put it in here, and it actually holds it just fine. However, as you see in my Filofax, I'm using these other clips, and these clips are actually from Staples, and what they do is you push them down and they pop open. See that? They pop open and they pop closed, and I like them because they're actually more sleek, more thin. So I interchange between these clips and my Oli clip, my Oli magnetic clip. So that's another thing that I use. I mentioned the use of washi tape, which I use throughout my my Filofax, but I also have another bag, and this is my Hello Kitty bag. And I actually got this from my twin sister, who sent it to me from Hawaii. I think she bought it at this Japanese store called Morukai. And anyhow, in it I will share with you guys all of the goodies that I have in here to also use in my Filofax. So the very first pocket has my ruler, has more clips, has more Post-it note tabs, and Post-it notes. This is actually from the Westin in San Francisco. I happen to love, I don't know why, whenever we go to, whenever I travel, which is usually like anywhere from 2 to 4 times a year, I always take the little pads that they have, or their pens. I don't know why. It's a weird thing. I just love different stuff from different hotels. So that's that. Then, pardon my dogs. In the second pouch I have, which are my also favorites, my Mr. Sketch smelly pens, and I showed you guys how I use these. Every single person in my family has a designated color. Excuse me. But I love these because they smell and they take me back to when I was younger. So that's in my middle side here. And then in my big side, I have a bunch of other stuff. Now, in my big side, I have my Clearly Bo Bunny, Clearly Calendar stamp, and also a little stamp block. And when Michael's was having their humongous blowout sale, 70% off of all their stuff, I found a pack of these Memento Dewdrops. Now, these are the 2 colors that I use most in my calendar, along with this stamp set. I also have highlighters in here because I showed you guys once I get done doing a doing a task, I tend to either check it off or I will highlight it to signify that I've done it. I have an extra pen. I actually have lens cleaning wipes for whether it's for my iPad, my glasses, my computer screen, whatever. These are great. These are found at Walmart. And then I have this whiteout. Where did it go? This whiteout pen. And this I actually found at Staples. And let me show you what, back in the day we used to have whiteout in the bottle and it was the liquid and it used to be so mucky. After a while it got really thick and chunky and hard to use and got so messy you had to keep blowing at it so that it would dry and all that nonsense. Well, now they have these really great whiteout pens. Initially I was using this one and I'm gonna finish using this one before I actually start using this one, but I love this one because it's smaller, it's more compact size, and it clicks to actually, if you can see, I'm clicking it and it actually is bringing out the little end here that you would use to just go over and white out whatever you made a mistake on. And because I happen to write a lot in pen in my Filofax, that whiteout comes in handy. So that is one bag. I also have another bag. And in this bag, it's just a plastic thingy. I have a bunch of different kinds of post-it notes, labels. I showed you guys the Martha Stewart dewdrops that I love using that are repositionable. Here are more replacement tabs that can go inside, and I can put it on top of that plastic divider sheet. I love different colors and different shapes of post-it notes. I have flags that I use. I'll show you a couple of my other favorite things that I use. I love these tabs as well. These are by Martha Stewart from Staples. Because these not only have a tab, but they have an area here where you can actually write on them. I've been known to use that and make notes to myself. These are also repositionable. Another one of my favorite things to use, well, here is another thing, and this is the bigger one of this, but I don't believe this is Martha Stewart. I just think I think I got this at Walmart. Here's another thing I bought at Walmart, and this is for the day timer actually. And what it is, it's a list, and if you guys are like me and you guys like lists and you guys like checking stuff off, this is a great thing. You can put your title up here and your list right here. And it's very sleek and small, so perfect to put in your Filofax and then remove it and take it on the go. Let's see. I also have in here my Filofax hole punch. Okay. Excuse me. Let me share with you guys a funny little thing. About this hole punch. When I initially got it, I was a little frustrated with it, okay? Because apparently I wasn't using it correctly. It doesn't actually come with directions because I'm thinking that they're thinking that this thing is so simple, you should know how to use it. Well, apparently some of us don't know how to use it. So let me share with you guys in case some of you are like myself and got frustrated because you don't know how to use it. So I have a piece of paper right here. And your Filofax A5 has 6 holes, 3 on the top and 3 on the bottom. And so when I initially got this thing, I opened it up, I stuck my paper in it, all the way to the end, right here, to the edge of this thing. I closed it up and I was punching out the holes, just like that. And sometimes this thing, the holes get stuck in it, so you just gotta clean it out or whatever. Not that big of a deal. And then you open it up and you pull your paper out, but look at this. See, there's like extra marks in there, extra holes in there. And I was like, oh my God, what the heck is that? What is going on with that? I was so irritated, it would like ruin all my pages. Oh, I was so annoyed. Well, remember how I mentioned in one of my videos that the lighting in my room is really bad at night? Not bad, but it's very dim at night because, I have to get myself ready to bed. Well, I needed to punch a paper. And so I took this out and I was like, okay, I need to punch something. And yeah, so I took this thing out and I wasn't paying attention to the way I was using it. So I put it in here, but I put it in backwards. And I actually put it in here so that I did it using this 2-side where there's only 2 holes. When I put it in here, I wasn't, again, like I said, I wasn't paying attention. I put it in here and I put it so that it actually butted up against these little things right here. Sam, stop. so that it butted up against these things right here. So I put it in here and then I punched it without looking, just going to town punching, okay? Then I opened it up and I pulled out my paper, and lo and behold, it didn't make the mistake like I did the other time, and it leaves the perfect amount of space over here so that you don't have a lot of overhang. Because when you have a lot of overhang on in between your rings, your things get caught up on the ring side. So like if you have your rings like this. So see, this is my initial not knowing how to use the punch, and this is how to use the punch correctly. So turn it over the opposite way if you're gonna punch. Use the guides, the top guide right here that stops your paper, and the two guides in here that actually lines your paper up to the right measurement, and then just punch your holes. So yeah, that is that. Now I have some other things that I also use that I will show you guys. I love using these butterfly clips in my Filofax, as well as these binder clips from Staples. And if you can't get the market dots, you can always get these Avery dots right here that can be found at any any office store. And let's see what else. Here are the old-fashioned hole reinforcers by Avery, also at any office store. These are those clips that I mentioned, the flat clips that you just kind of click it and they go on your paper, and I like them. Like I said, they're very thin. See that? So thin. Doesn't take up any space. It's not very bulky. The last thing you want in your Filofax is for things to be bulky. So that's that. And then of course you can never have too many stickers, and these are just a few of the stickers that I have and I have used throughout my Filofax. But yeah, those are the little goodies, are my favorite things to put in my Filofax to make my Filofax pretty. So I will put all the information for the things that I use in the description box below and where I've purchased them. Some things you can you can find in person at the stores, and some things you have to be order online. But I hope this was helpful. I appreciate you guys watching. I apologize for my dogs in the background. They're a pain in my butt. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Take care. Bye.